It's February 23rd. I'm down in Iowa. It's my very first time coming down here to shed hunt. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if I'll find anything. I don't really know like where the deer are down here or what they're doing. So I'm kind of just gonna have to try to figure that out. My first trip down here. I'm trying to figure out how to shed hunt in Iowa here. Totally different from what I'm used to. Like, how do you even find a shed out in like a sea of grass where you can't see it like this? Other than just follow the deer trails, which is what I've been doing. And I have a couple other areas I want to check that are more forest and rivers, so probably more what I'm used to. But I wanted to check this out too, just for something different. But yeah, just if those sheds aren't on the main trails through here, I don't know how you'd find them. I don't know where those deer are bedding or where they're feeding. This has got to be a bed here. Looks like everything's crushed down. So I finally found some bedding out here. And these weird like horsetails. And there's like prairie grass, and there's been like cattail marsh. A few trees around. Well, I flushed a pheasant out here. That was cool. You don't see many of those up north. I don't know what I'm even walking in here. I'm finding so many rubs out here. But no sheds. I bet most of the bucks down here are still holding. I think I might be a little early for this trip. I'm walking behind the rest area where I parked overnight. Found a dead deer here. Oh, there's somebody's dumping here, it looks like. That one, I don't know. That's a shed buck right there. Day 2 in Iowa. Somebody has been out here already, it looks like. I made it down into this really steep valley. I'm trying to get up the other side, and I can't believe it. There's boot tracks down in here. Wow. I wonder where they came down. Well, Iowa is kicking my butt. I don't have any sheds. I'm exhausted. We're having fun looking around, but it's not quite like home. There are a lot of deer, but I kind of miss the North Woods. I'm in a new spot, day 3 in Iowa. I've got some boot tracks in here too. So I don't know, between being kind of early and the pressure on public land, this might be harder than I thought here. I cannot get away from this guy's boot tracks. He was all over this. Definitely a shed hunter. These trees make me feel like I'm on an alien planet. I've just never seen anything like that before. I'm just out here walking the standing corn. It'd be hard to spot a shed in here, but I assume the deer are in here feeding. They got food and cover. I can't even believe how much food these deer have down here. It is nothing like this up north. In the wintertime, we don't have any corn by me. There's some hay fields, but that's it. It's early afternoon on day 3 in Iowa. I'm really tired and frustrated. I haven't found anything, even though the deer sign is really good. And the area I was in today, there was boot tracks all over it. I'm just headed back to my truck now here. Super tired. I think I'm gonna head home. I really need a shower. I'm really missing the North Woods where it doesn't smell like cow poop, and even though the deer densities are lower, I've got a lot more public land to myself up there. It's April 15th. I'm back in Iowa for the second time. Thought I'd try again a little later. I don't know, I don't have super high hopes after the first time, but at least those antlers should hopefully be down by now. If I can find any, I'm checking back in some of the spots I looked at earlier this year, and I might try some new spots too. So we'll see how it goes. Super windy out here today. I'm so excited. I got some decent pants for walking through bush. They're way thicker than my regular jeans, and it actually has like decent pockets. I can even put my phone in my pants pocket. don't think I've owned a pair of pants in my adult life that I could put a phone in the pocket. Women's clothing is kind of useless, but these were like Milwaukee. They were really expensive, but they were out of the Dickies, so. And I needed something to come down here to Iowa, so I just grabbed what they had to fit me. Tons of rubs in this little finger of woods that sticks out into the field here. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's like two back there. I'm back in Iowa. It's April 15th. I'm back in the same spot I started out last time, and it looks like they did a prescribed burn in here. Everything is burnt, so well, this is definitely the first time I've ever walked any land that's been burned. So that is pretty cool. And if there were any sheds, you should be able to see them really well now. But I think probably someone else has probably hit it before I got here, but who knows? We'll check it out. It's April 15th. I'm out walking this burned area and I see some kind of skull over there. I don't know if it's a deer or something else. I saw it from farther back and it looked orange. I couldn't figure out what the heck it was. Kept looking through my binoculars. Figured I better get closer. Oh yeah, that's a little buck skull there. This crap is kind of hard to walk on. That is kind of cool. Big skull there. I don't think I can take a skull in Iowa without a salvage tag, and I don't think it'd be worth getting one for a tiny buck, but that is like super cool looking after it's been burnt like that. It's April 15th. I'm down in Iowa for the second trip this year. I went back to an area I walked in February and they burned it all, which is actually really good. I just found a little yearling buck skull. I left that. I think you need a permit for those here, but I just found my first Iowa shed out here. I don't think it's a very big one, but I don't care. I gotta say, shed hunting these burned areas is really cool, just the way things stand out and the kind of burnt look that they have. It's an old one too. That's really cool though. I'm still waiting for my Iowa big buck, but hey, I got a little yearling there, I think so. And yeah, first shed in a new state is always kind of cool too. I almost walked into this little turtle out here. I've seen a couple garter snakes too. I'm on day 3 of my second Iowa trip, and I don't know where the sheds are down here. I mean, I'm in northern Iowa. I had someone tell me to go to western Iowa, but it's just kind of too far for me to drive. And I'm seeing a good deer sign, some rubs, not a ton, and found that one little shed, but yeah, not seeing anything else. Finding some pretty spots. I found some, I don't know, these freshwater oysters or whatever they are. Picked up a couple of those. They're kind of pretty, and I've never seen any that big up by me, so. But yeah, just kind of getting skunked in Iowa. I mean, you have high expectations when you hear what people talk about down here. And actually getting out and walking here, I'm not seeing a whole lot. And those big grasslands, I don't know how you find sheds out there. So now I'm just trying along a river here. I'm going to take a little break and then go check the other side. I don't know what these are. They're the most terrible, like, thorn bushes. I'm debating if I dare walk in that. I mean, I'd rather walk in buckthorn than deal with this stuff. Never seen that up north. It's the morning of day 4 in Iowa. I'm about to head back home to Wisconsin. I walked a couple hours, but I'm just not seeing anything, and a lot of the areas I wanted to walk here were like thick, but it's all thorny bushes. I just didn't want to deal with it, so I'm gonna head home. That was a lot of work for one shed coming down here twice. I don't know if it's just hard in this area. I'm in northern Iowa. I don't know if there's a lot of other people looking for sheds. I don't know if the deer have been hit really hard with EHD. I did see a lot of rubs and buck signs, so there's got to be some bucks around, but I'm not sure where those sheds are, and I wouldn't have found that first little one if that area hadn't been burned. I never would have seen it in the tall grass, so I guess if it's that hard to find sheds here, it's probably not worth the time and money to come down. I had a great time though, and saw tons of wildlife and birds, so it was kind of a cool trip to make.